come to celebrate my brother of over 50 years.
Yes, sir.
I've been knowing him ever since he was knee high.
Yes,
and to
sir.
see what God has done for him, and we just here to celebrate.
Yeah, 50 years.
Yeah.
He's in the 50 club now.
He joined us in the 50 club. I'm still his oldest brother, though.
Yeah. Thank you, man. God bless you.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Isaiah, happy 50th birthday to you. This is Keenan, and it wasn't long ago that we met at a Dream Life Worship Center, and those memories will always stay with me. I just want to thank you for just sharing your love of music with me, and I just also thank you for making me your protege, and your blessings and your giving spirit has always been a gift to me, and I just want to thank you, and I just want to thank you so much that I just have to run and tell that. Has the Lord done anything for you? Help me sing now. I'm a living witness. My God will see you through. Oh, pick me up and turn me around. Place my feet on solid ground. Look at my hands and they look new. Look at my feet and they do too. You ought to run. You ought to run. You ought to run and tell that. Happy birthday.
Hello, everybody. Pick TV Network here once again. Want to celebrate part 2 of the celebration that everybody's talking about. We're here to celebrate tonight my godson's 50th birthday recap. Popping in from New York to Hollywood, California to Washington, D.C. Hey, we got to say Hollywood because my son Steven is out there and Isaiah's son is out there. So we can't leave Hollywood out. It's impossible for we to leave them out, even though I'm in D.C. We still got to say something about Hollywood. Hey, Isaiah, this is part 2, man. You and your wonderful wife is there.
Yes, this is awesome, Dad. What a celebration we had on Friday this thing was bigger than Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
What happened on Friday was a moment in gospel history. It was phenomenal, amazing. Everybody came out. DMV came out. Dr. Carla Barnes, my wife, Natalie Thomas. They put together such a magnificent event. If you haven't seen it, you can see it only on the Pick TV network.
I love you, man. I've been knowing you since you was like this small, man. Natalie, I've been knowing him since he was like this, Natalie. 319 T Street.
Yeah.
I used to call his dad Elder Thomas and say, I need a speaker tonight. And it was like 5 o'clock. And he would say, I'll be there, Elder Evans. He would come down there, would come and play the keyboard piano, the M1.
So you called him at 5 o'clock. That's true.
At 5 o'clock. Because he lived right down the street. Isaiah lived right.
Yeah.
You could throw a pencil. You could throw a football, a rock, and he would walk down in here. There wasn't no riding the church. We ain't had no car to ride. What do you mean?
We didn't need to ride a car. We would just walk around the corner.
Well, the church we were a community. So yes, Isaiah played for me, one of my first musicians back in the 80s. He was just a little kid, man. I was in my 20s. I had black hair, y'all. I had a bow tie on, man. You think I look good now? Man, I had wingtip shoes. Man, I put that rap on Coach Pastor Evans. I put that love rap on her. I put you looking good tonight.
Dad, Dad, back in those days, you was always behind a video camera.
Yeah, man. I always had a niche for that, Yeah. And I want to thank God for you, man.
Look at you now. Look at you now. Now you're running the network all over the world.
Man, God is good, man. All I can say.
Glory, man.
He's good. I want to get into this set because we got a lot of people watching. We're going to bring Carla up, Jerome Boyd, Pastor Boyd up. I want you to talk about musicians, and I want your wife to talk about it along with you. Why is it important to get you checked out? If you haven't gotten the shot, you may want to rethink about it. I had COVID. I want you to talk about that too, Natalie, how to take care of your man during COVID. Because it tore me up to sleep with my wife, man. She had to sleep in another room. Yeah. I think that tore me up more than anything else, man. I was away from my wife in another room in the same house. You know how hard that is, Donnell? Yes. In the same house, and for her to, sleep in another room for a couple of days.
Yeah. Well,
and talk about that. Talk about that, Isaiah, about your health, man, about why you need to go get a colonoscopy, why you need to go get checked out. Talk about that.
I'm going to make it into 2 parts because what you said is very, very keen. The first part is musicians need to make sure they have health insurance. I can't tell you how many musicians that I know that have transitioned, that have passed on, and their family had to try to scrape up and collect money just to try to bury them. So I cannot stress that enough. I know artists, gospel artists, that when the time came for them to transition, they didn't even have enough. They didn't have no insurance. So their family had to scrape up money just to try to bury them. And so, in this day that we live in, it's all kind of stuff. Aflac, there's all type of things that musicians can acquire that can make sure they have coverage. They can have health insurance. They can have benefits. When they get sick, go to the hospital. Like you said, get checked out. All these things are important so that we can maintain good health so we can be around here for a very long time, Dad. Natalie, you talk to the people about that.
Yes. Having a health insurance is important. Getting yourself checked out is very important. Isaiah and I had COVID together. So we did not experience sleeping in separate rooms because we had it together along with my son. So my son was in one room. Isaiah was on one side of the room. I was on one side of the room. I barely remember that time because we slept for about a good month and a half because COVID really knocked us out. So please go get your shot.
Don't play with that. Don't play with that thing. Yes.
Please go get your shot. Musicians, I experienced watching Isaiah's health decline. When I met Isaiah, the biggest thing I noticed with musicians was after y'all gig, y'all go to eat. 2:00 in the morning, 12:00 in the morning. And when you're in your 20s, you don't really think about it much. Even in your 30s, you don't think about it as much. Is that Calvin Rogers? even in your 30s.
That's Calvin. Calvin. Calvin.
Is that my brother?
Calvin.
Wait a minute. Hi, brother.
He can't hear us. Calvin. He can't hear us.
Yo,
Calvin. Calvin.
You got to unmute his mic. Got to tell him to unmute his mic.
I got to Calvin, unmute.
Unmute your mic.
Calvin.
Oh.
let me tell him.
I just sent him the text.
But while we're waiting for my brother to come back in, I was saying a lot of musicians go out to eat. You go to fast food restaurants, you go to Denny's, you go to IHOP, you go to Double T Diner, and I'm here to tell you, stop it. Stop it. Go home. After you gig and stuff, go home. Because eventually that stuff is going to catch up with you and you will have health problems. And your wife or your significant other, and there are women who are musicians as well and have husbands that they have to help them. Go home. Stop eating all this fast food. It's not good for you. Eventually it will catch up to you. And so we're just advocates now of pushing musicians to make sure you have health insurance. It's important. And to make sure you go home after a gig. And if you gotta eat out after a gig, choose what you eat wisely. Make sure you exercise. Make sure you go to your doctor's appointments. You know, keep your doctor's appointment. We stay on the road a lot. I know Isaiah would stay on the road a whole lot. And I would tell him we have to go see the doctor, but I gotta stop because my brother is on. Hi, brother.
Calvin! Right.
Happy birthday, man.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, look, I'm not staying on here long because, wait, is it the church people on here?
Oh my God.
Yes,
Y'all on here have the church?
yes.
Okay. Hey, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Calvin Rogers.
I couldn't make it Friday night, man. I was just coming back from I was in Europe actually, so and I couldn't be there, but and I wanted to send video and time just got away from me and all of that, bro. But
Yeah.
I'm sorry I wasn't there. You know, you my big brother, man. I owe you so much. So I hate I couldn't get there, man. What's this y'all doing, man? Y'all have a recap? I saw a video you posted, man. Teddy Riley was on there. I'm like, dang. Bro, you I didn't know you were so young, man. I thought you was older. You accomplished a lot. You've done a lot, man. Congratulations to you, bro.
I couldn't have done half the stuff I've done without you. And I'm glad you're on because I want you to just, I know you got to go, but I want you to tell the people the role that you play with me. Like, you're not just a drummer with me. And of course, you're the best drummer in the whole wide world. Everybody knows that. But I want you to talk from a different hat. Talk from your producer's hat. Because I want you to tell the people how you listen to music all the time. It drives me crazy. Like you're constantly listening to music, constantly talking about ideas. Like, tell them how you literally put the intros and the endings to my music. Like, you would take my music and and make it ready to be recorded.
Man, what's crazy is Isaiah did not really know me when we first met. I mean, and for some reason he saw me. We met. We worked together on that first New Samaritan project, and then I think I came back for the second project. And when I came back for the second project, Isaiah just started like commanding me, like, "Hey, Calvin, I need you to do this. I want you to do that." Like, and I don't know how he knew I had it in me to do it because I didn't know I had it in me to do it. But he started telling me, "Hey, man, like, hey, Calvin, I want you to really work with the band, get these intros together." It started with working on intros and then give us the outro. And then he started surrounding me with people who would listen to my ideas. I mean, he put me in rooms with people like Buddy Lightning and Jonathan DeBose and had these people listening to me. I'm like, why in the world am I sitting in a room with Jonathan DeBose telling him what to play? But that's the kind of stuff that ended up happening. And I don't know why, how, I don't know what made you know that those things were in me, but you knew they were in me. And going forward, I mean, after those projects, I mean, I had the confidence to believe in my ideas. I had the confidence to believe that there was more in me. Everything I'm doing now in life, like, has to do with all of the stuff that you started me to do.
Wow.
Now that it comes back to me, I think one of the first times that like you really put me like charged me to run things like when I came back to do Bishop Wilson, Antioch.
Yes.
After and he was just like I never had anyone just like have that much belief in me. I went back home to Chicago and started co-producing the albums at my church with Rashawn Mitchell and Rick Robinson and Sweet Holy Spirit Records. I was just sitting on the drums there, you know, and I went back home and from there I went to MD and Fred Hammond and producing records with Mark Hubbard and things like that, you know. And I don't know how Isaiah knew this thing was in me. I don't know how he saw it, but he did, and I'm forever thankful and grateful to him and Carla and Bishop Michael Kelsey for giving me those opportunities, because everything I'm doing now, life is full circle. So everything that I'm doing now in my life has to do with what was started in me there, you know. And there are a couple of people that without them that I wouldn't be able to be doing what I'm doing now. And one of those people is absolutely Isaiah Thomas. So I mean, you know, man, I salute you on your birthday, bro. Like I said, I didn't know you so young. You've done so much, but not only that, man. I mean, being in DC, spending time with you, seeing how you ran Goodfellas Music, how you employed musicians around that city, made sure that they had jobs, but not only that they had jobs, but they had reputable reputations, making sure that the character was intact, making sure that they kept good standing with these churches and these ministries that they worked with. You know what I'm saying? You weren't just getting these guys checks. You was doing all kinds of stuff for them that, you know, that was just in your heart to do. And I watched you do that, man. That was super empowering. And so many of those guys now are making super big money now with the skill set mentally, the mental skill set that you charged them with. You know, so man, again, you know, salute to you, bro. I just had to get on here. Carla just sent the link, and I'm like, man, I missed Friday. Let me just please stop in here. I got friends over here. We chilling, watching football and basketball over the house. I had to jump over here. Just man, so.
Well, Calvin,
I had to stop in and say I love you, bro. Happy birthday.
Calvin, I love you too, man. You my brother for life. I want Dr. Bowens to give her experience with Calvin in the New Samaritan Project. I got to, because we have so many memories with Carla. So while we got Dr. Bowens on, I want her to give her, what is your experience of the Calvin Rogers?
Carla, you're on mute.
We can't hear you, Carla.
Okay, can you all hear me now?
Yes,
Calvin, come back. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
First of all, Calvin, why am I up at 4 o'clock in the morning for you? Why? You don't remember?
Look where the
why
Lord
am
brought
I up
us
at 1
from.
o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning fooling with Calvin Rogers? Okay? Why am I reiterating? I'm teasing them. I'm not going to do that to you, because they have over 2 million people viewing this.
Oh, my God.
That was hilarious. I was like, hello. But anyway, here we go. I want to say this. Watch this, Calvin. Michael Robinson, bless his soul.
Michael Robinson.
Robinson. Michael Robinson, we had already said Isaiah was going to produce our project. Then we met Michael Robinson, and we decided, Sheila and I, my sister and I decided, you know what? Michael has his gift, and we're going to merge the two. Here's what happened. Isaiah, I was on North Capitol Street, North Capitol MP. I don't have time to tell it all, but Calvin, Isaiah got so mad at me, he quit. Who is Calvin Rogers? Who is Maurice Fitzgerald? You bringing all these musicians that I don't know. I got my own, because he had his own band and his own way of doing it. And I was like, Isaiah, I don't know them. I just know that Michael is working on the project too, and Michael has his session musicians, and you have yours. We can do this together. Isaiah was like, no. And then this is the only time you ever did this, Isaiah. We went back and forth so much because see, Isaiah curses and I don't. because Michael Robinson was explaining to me that, you know, he would have to use you and Maurice for New Samaritan's project because he had not heard our musicians. Isaiah was, oh, I've never heard them, and I know the guys here in DC. But here's what happened, and here's the lesson. Well, first of all, we see the lesson right here, because to hear you say the impact he's had on your life, what if this merger hadn't occurred? But what ended up happening was, by the time when Isaiah heard you all are in rehearsal. You all are in rehearsal with his band. You all, whatever. You all know everybody came together. By the time we recorded, the line was wrapped around West Virginia Avenue all the way back because everybody heard Jonathan Dubose, Calvin Rogers, Isaiah Thomas, Maurice Fitzgerald, Jason Wood, Phil. Everybody heard that everybody was going to be in the same spot. Go ahead, Calvin.
But did Jonathan played on that first record? He didn't play on the first record, did he?
No, that's Rick Wofford.
He went. Yeah, Rick Wofford played on the first record.
Rick Walker.
Rick
Wofford.
That's right.
Rick Wofford played on the first record, but also, I mean, I made a lot of lifelong friends at New Samaritan too. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, yourself, Dr. Bowens, Greg Clark. You know, was one of my best buddies, Marcus Johnson.
Yes.
You know, those are my friends. Those are my really good friends. You know what I'm saying? We're not the type of guys that talk every day, but we check in. And those are my buddies. You know what I'm saying? I made lifelong connections with people from those projects there.
Okay, Calvin, let me ask you this, because you're not married yet, are you? Are you married right now? Oh, you are married. Okay, I didn't know, but you were married. You were married then. Were you married? No, I'm just asking, are you married? What's so funny about that? I just asked, was he married? Isaiah! Natalie, are you going in with them too? I just asked, are you married right now? Anyway, you weren't married then. Were you married then?
No.
No, you weren't married back then when I first met you, were you?
Oh,
okay, that's all I was asking.
I was just wondering where this was about to go.
I'm not going. Well, now you got me scared to say anything about. I'm not gonna say anything that I just wanted to know, because the reason is I was just gonna say when you came in and Maurice came in. I was just saying the whole alto section went crazy. Like, oh my God. Look, everybody was like, who are they? Who are they? But I'm just saying, y'all were fun. We were all family. I'm going to leave it right there. We were family.
Amen.
Y'all are crazy. I don't know why you're doing that, Isaiah.
Oh.
But anyway,
man,
we love you so much, Calvin.
Calvin, we love you, man.
Yeah, I love y'all, man. I miss y'all. I haven't seen y'all in a while, so hopefully I get to.
You just got back from Africa, Calvin. Where'd you just get back from?
Well, I was in South Africa. Then when you were calling, I was in Finland. I was in Europe, in Finland.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Calvin, you always doing music. Like, what do you do to relax?
What I'm doing right now, watching basketball, hanging out with my friends, just chilling, basketball and football. You know, talking life, hanging out with my friends, family. Yeah.
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man.
We got it. Go ahead, baby.
I was going to say, we love you, Calvin. I love you, brother.
Love you too, sis. Listen, I think I got y'all hooked up next week. We'll talk about all that in DC. I'll call you and talk about that. It was something I was getting ready to tell you. Carla called me the other night and said we out to eat. But as I said, where y'all at Capitol Grill? Because what's the name of the spot we always? No. Old Ebbitt Grill. That's what I meant.
Oh, Ebbitt Grill.
Old Ebbitt Grill.
You remember that place?
Oh, Ebbitt Grill.
Oh, of course. I ate there 100 times in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hey, Carla. Well, I used to come to those sessions, and y'all would pay me really well. I would go home with no money because Isaiah had me shopping the whole time.
Isaiah.
I would go home with it was so bad. I was like, Isaiah would be like, "Yo, we're gonna go to Philly," and he'd be telling me, "Hey, man, let's go to Philly." I'm like, "Philly? That's a little way away. We got rehearsal night." Man, it would go from, "Oh man, Philly's only hour and a half away."
Right.
No, we get that in about 35, 45 minutes. I'm like, man, which one is it? Then we end up in Georgetown or Montgomery. Was it Montgomery?
Montgomery, Baltimore, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, Isaiah. Yes, Lord.
had me
Listen,
shopping.
Calvin, we love you guys. We love you so much. Thank you so much for tapping
Thank
in.
you, Calvin. I
TV
just texted him.
Network.
Calvin, I love you, man.
We got to bring
I love
Dr.
you, man. I'm
Nick
checking
Evans
in with you, man.
Okay.
and we got to go to commercial break. Thank you,
Calvin, I'm
Love
gonna call you. I'm gonna call you,
Okay.
bro.
It's Pick TV, everybody. It's Pick
Pick
TV.
TV Network.
Pick TV,
The
Pick
best, the
TV.
best.
It's the biggest. You know what I'm talking about? Hey. She want the She want the
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm your host, Izumi, and we are reporting live from Los Angeles, California, and we are on Pick TV Network on Roku TV. And if you're not tuning in right now, you better tune in because you do not want to miss the latest and hottest indie music videos, fashion, celebrity news, interviews, and so much more for you guys that we're going to bring a home for all indie artists and all genres of music. So we are the streets, we are the culture, and we are the content. Stay tuned, Roundtable TV.
Hey everyone, this is big. I want everyone to download the Pick TV network on your Roku search bar. My brother David Evans is growing Pick TV fans, and I want us to help my brother blow up Pick TV. Boom! PickTVNetwork.com. Bomb.
Hey everybody, we right back here on the Pick TV Network. Second half, second show with my godson Isaiah Thomas and Natalie Thomas here today. My man Jerome Boy is backstage, also with Carla Bowens. Man, we just heard from one of the top musicians in the world who was just on just now, on travel, on tour. I want to get into talking with Isaiah a little bit more before we bring up our special guest once again. Isaiah, as we go into this session of talking about your anniversary, again, it was so many artists there, man. Teddy Riley gave us something on there. You had Victor Johnson. I haven't seen in 30 years, man. You had, so many artists. I haven't seen nothing in 60 years like this in DC at the big event for your birthday celebration. Carla, I know she worked behind the scene to pull this off. And then talk about, man, the This Is Your Life part about it. Carla, I know we had the This Is Your Life. That was like crazy. Natalie, I want you to talk. I want to hear Natalie. I want to hear my goddaughter's voice for a minute. Now, how did they put together This Is Your Life? That was crazy.
I have to give it to Dr. Carla Bowens. She said to me, oh, I got an idea. Let's do This Is Your Life. Go on and look at YouTube, Muhammad Ali. And I said, okay. And when I looked at it, I was like, oh, we could do that. And so I immediately started calling people, like literally started calling people. David Frazier, every pastor you could think of that he worked with, bishops, Calvin Rogers. I called Calvin Rogers. He picked up his phone. Bishop Hezekiah Walker, James Hall, you name it, I called it. And then Dr. Bowens, she was calling every musician known to man in the DMV. Do you understand what I'm saying? And it was nothing. What I love about DMV is they really showed Isaiah love.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'm gonna say this out loud. They didn't charge us a dime.
Wow.
Although we were talking about this, a lot of times you see all those musicians. I mean, we had some heavy hitters.
Yes.
Morgan Turner, Kenneth Shelton, Smiles, Jeff Purdy, the list, Buddy Lakin, Mike Scott. The list goes on. Jamal Moore, Gerald Scott. The list goes on. It was so many musicians. And I said, you know, the last time I've seen something like this is at somebody's funeral. And for the first time, I had seen all these musicians. Elliot, he was there.
Yes.
All these musicians just to celebrate this guy. This lets you know you can be quiet, but God can make you mighty. You don't have to be flamboyant. You don't have to be all on social media telling all your business for God to lift you up in the front of the people.
That's good.
You know, it's all about your character and your perception. And what I love about it is, Dr. Evans, some people will try to talk bad about you and make things out for the bad, but our God will turn things around and make it out for your good. And we got people saying, even Dr. B came back and said, man, I wish I was there. Man, I can't believe I missed it. Man, Dr. B, I'm sorry. You gotta let grudges go. People are dying left and right every day. Look at the late Keith Wonderboy Johnson. Who would have thought? Who would have thought he would have went on home to glory? It don't matter your age. It don't matter your position. It don't matter what instrument you play. When your assignment is up, God calls you home. But if you're still here and got breath in your body,
yes, ma'am,
there is an assignment for you to do. So if you got an issue, you better go to that person and get it right, get it straight, so that you can move forward in what God has for you to do. And that's what I appreciate about this guy. You can come to Isaiah. You can talk to him. Everybody know in the world he don't answer his phone. That's a known fact. That is the funniest. That's the funny joke. But he's a sweetheart, and he will give you the shirt off his back. And it was shown on Friday night. They told me we had over 300 people there. I didn't even know. Dr. B, I think it was bigger than what you and I even imagine. So thank you, DMV. Dr. B, come on. I want
to piggyback on something Dr. Bowens. This is saying that a prophet is not welcome in his own home. Like he's not what is it?
Honored.
Yeah, a prophet is not praised in their own home. But what they showed me Friday, I'm born and raised from Washington, D.C. Born and raised from DC, and DC showed the type of love that was unimaginable to me. And so that phrase does not apply to me because DC, the DMV, gave me my flowers while I could yet still smell them. And so I give all the glory to God for that. And I'm so grateful. All of the musicians, every musician in the world was at this event on Friday. I mean, there's people I ain't seen in 30 years made sure they were in the house on Friday. And so I just give all the glory to God for that.
Hey, Isaiah, you see Maurice Fitzgerald?
I see the man.
What's up, man?
I see the master, the maestro, him himself in the flesh.
What's up,
Maurice
my brother?
Fitzgerald. Wow.
Good to see you, man.
How are you, man?
I'm blessed. I can't complain, man.
Listen, we just got finished talking to your brother, man. Calvin was just on, Doc. But I mean, I want the people to know some of your resume. Can you just tell us just a little bit? I know you don't like to do this, but just tell me some of the people you travel with, man.
Oh, man. Since you asked. I mean, I started with John P. Key back in 1992.
Wow.
Went from there, from Vanessa Bell Armstrong to Fred Hammond to
Wow.
Yolanda to the CeCe Winans, the BB and CeCe, the Mighty
Wow.
Joy, Destiny's Child, just Isley Brothers, just a long list of a lot of folk. Kim Burrell, bunch of folk. The great Andre Crouch recorded with him, toured with him, and
man, don't get no bigger than that, Maurice.
Yeah, just a God-given career in music, and the great Isaiah Thomas. I gotta rank you amongst the greats, man. And I ain't just saying that because you on the line, but I'm gonna tell you, Isaiah, when I met you at New Samaritan, you not only became somebody I respected musically, but you became my brother.
Wow.
And man, I love you, man, for real. And
I appreciate that, man.
I told him when I met you, your musicality and your approach to songwriting, it had a different swag to it, man. And I just enjoy playing bass to your stuff, bro.
Yo, can I say this, Mo? I gotta say this because I've never told you this, but you're the most musical bass player that I've ever worked with. Like, it's almost like talking to you is like talking to another keyboard player. Like, I mean, can you explain your concept of the bass? Because you're so melodic and you're such, it's almost like you play the keyboard on a bass almost. Like, it's kind of weird. I don't feel like I'm talking to a bass player when I'm communicating with you. Can you explain that?
Man, let me tell you, the thing with me musically is I grew up listening to the greatest musicians and some of the greatest artists. Like, for instance, when I would hear the Hawkins as a kid, I heard what Joel Smith would do to the music, how he supported not only just the rhythm section and the keyboards, but the totality of the melody, the meaning of the song, the feeling of the song. So if it touches my heart, it's gonna touch somebody else's heart. So my approach to bass ain't just me playing notes trying to impress people. It's trying to be a part of the vision of the song, so that when a person hear it that ain't even that's a non-musician, they'll feel the spirit of it. So in doing that, when I hear you play, when I hear other musicians play, I hear my part, and my part is only to enhance what everybody else is doing. So I'm dialed into everything that I hear around me. And that's how you can look up, and I've been playing bass for 30 plus years on all these records and playing with people and still relevant, because the key to it is being musically relevant and meaningful to the sound.
Wow.
Not being an actor on the bass. Wow. It's a bunch of people.
That was good.
It's a lot of people that can outrun me. I'll play a bunch of notes, but they can't outthink me.
Wow. Wow, Mo, that's crazy.
It's the Michael Jordan effect. When he got older, he said, "Oh, I ain't finna fly through the sky. I'm gonna shoot this set shot, and it's gonna mean a lot. I'm gonna pace myself." So music is a thing, man, where you can have a lifelong career being having to contribute to it if you play it right, and that's the mindset of it. Always looking to enhance and play your role. And that's
wow, Mo. Mo, that's crazy, man. Your insight is just crazy, man. Like, again, you don't sound like most bass players, like your typical bass player. You're like, you're it's almost like you play the bass, but you almost can comment on any instrument. Like you know how it's supposed to come together. And that's what's so awesome working with you. Like, even though you're playing the bass, I'm looking at you for intros, and I'm looking at you for endings. I'm looking at you for building, because you add so much more just by, and some things I noticed working on a couple records with you, I didn't even have to tell you to do stuff. Like, I was just like, "Here, Mo," and you would take it to the next level.
Bro, I mean, but that's the guys before us. That's like all the musicians that we grew up loving and honoring. To me, when I was a kid, I listened to them and I was to beg I said, like, God, just give me a fraction of how they coming up with these parts and making music feel good. Like being back in Chicago, I would listen to the Tommies and listen to Percy and Steve and Kevin would be in there, man. And then just creating a sound, bro. And that music could be here. It's almost like the Michael Jackson effect. Rock with you. If you hear that song right now, you'll let it play all the way through. You know why? Because it made you feel good back in the 70s, and it make you feel good in the 2000s. Because it was music. The musical approach to it was correct, and it was from God.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow,
so the thing about it, all the guys around me that I admired, they played like that. They played like this bass line gonna be here when I ain't here no more.
Whoa.
But if you playing a lot of junk and it's just going through people's ears, they'll forget it. They'll be like, oh, he was great, and then they won't remember it. But if you play from that other place, it'll be here while you gone.
Mo, you blessing us right now, bro.
And that's Calvin too. Man, I tell people, when I met Calvin, he was all over the drums, man, playing with Ricky. We got together, man. We started making music together. And now Calvin is not only a drummer, but his ears is huge. He a producer. He's a band leader. He ain't thinking just from I'm beating the drums and I'm playing chops. Every lick means something. Every little down means something.
Wow.
And that's the approach to me. Hey, bro, you need to bring me up to DC. We need to do a clinic, bro.
I was getting ready. That was the very next thing I was going to say, Mo. Mo, we got to have you in the capacity to come and share with the younger bass players that are coming up, because the information that you have is invaluable. They need to know this.
Man, bro, we need to put something together, and it would be beautiful. We can set up a 2 or 3 2-day conference of your songwriting, instrumentation, approach to music, production, the whole deal. It'll be mind-blowing.
Listen, I'm going to get with Dr. Bowens. Dr. Bowens.
Oh, that mercy.
We got I'm sorry. We got to put this thing together, and only you can put it together the way it needs to be put together.
We have to do this.
Yes.
We have to do this. Where did Earl go? Earl wanted to talk to Maurice. Is he back there? You go, Earl, go.
Come on in,
Isaiah. Listen, I've never officially met your wife. I just want to say hello. I'm Mo.
Oh, that's right.
It's such a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Natalie. It's such a pleasure to meet you. And you're not my brother. I love Calvin and Maurice. I've been loving them from the phone.
Yes.
So, they've been doing what I've asked from the phone.
Yes.
I love them already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mo, what's
Maurice
up, Mo?
Amazing. Maurice is amazing.
Mo,
girl, you there?
And Carla, you know how I feel about you, girl. You know,
Mo.
Carla is my sister.
Yeah.
All you got to say is
Dr. Bowens.
Mo. That's it.
Mo.
I really wanted Earl to have a chance.
Mo.
Earl.
Yeah.
Mo, what's up, Mo?
Is that Earl?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. What's up, my brother?
What's happening, champ?
Man, it's so good to hear and see you, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I was just telling them that y'all got to get us out to DC to do some kind of conference and a concert, man. We'll do a 2-day conference, Isaiah, and then we'll put together a concert, and we'll do a concert honoring the great music that blessed us. Smallwood, Hawkins, everything, like a collage of great music and some of your originals all on that same night with a dream team vocal team, and that would be the close of that night.
No problem.
You
We can make
saying?
that happen. We can make that happen. Because we got some stuff in the works now, so we can put that on our agenda.
Let's do it.
Yeah, next year gonna be crazy.
We
Let's
gotta,
make it happen.
we gotta get on Maurice's schedule early, because he'll tell us quick, man. I got to be in Japan.
And now let me tell you something. Something like that's legacy and life changing, bro. I move another kind of way. I set my schedule to how I want it.
Wow.
Everybody else
all right. Oh, Earl, you hear that? You hear him, right? You hear me?
You know what I'm saying?
I hear him.
So that'll have to wait. I got that on my books, and that won't move.
Okay.
Oh, we love you, Mo.
Love you too, man.
Dr. Evans has come in. We're going to bring him in. Time for a little commercial break,
Yes.
Dr. Evans.
Hey, thank you. And
All right.
I don't know, man. I'm in the preacher's lane, man. I've been preaching all my life, but when you talk about musicians, Isaiah, this brother said he's with the Osley Brothers, man.
Yes.
I mean, did you hear those big names he was naming around the world?
Everybody, and he didn't name half of the artists he worked with. I'm talking about the biggest producers on the world. They call him.
Wow.
That the records you got in your car, that's Maurice Fitzgerald 9 times out of 10.
Wow,
man.
Amazing. Amazing.
Honored, man.
And Dad, you know what I love about Maurice? I love Maurice the man.
Yeah.
Not the musician, the person that he is.
Likewise.
Let me tell you something, man. That's my brother for real right there.
He's real humble.
And guess what? Guess what? If you mess with him, he will fight you.
No problem.
Because I seen him stand up to somebody, and I was like, "Whoa, Maurice means business."
We're gonna take a commercial break.
All right,
I want the whole world to know we're gonna have in 2023.
Love you, Mo.
Love you
the
too.
Isaiah Thomas Awards. We're gonna have the Isaiah Thomas Awards. I will have these.
Wow.
Yeah, these are the Isaiah Thomas Awards. I wanted to present this the other night. So this is our version. The Pick TV Network will host the Isaiah Thomas Award. So all of these people who came from around the world, they'll get awards when they come for the Isaiah Thomas Awards into the DMV. Maybe we'll get the Kennedy Center. Carla, you gonna help me pull this off? Carla, I'm gonna bring Carla up for a minute before we go to a commercial. Carla, you gonna help me pull this off, Carla?
My hair weave is gonna be on the red carpet before I am.
Carla, we need something like this in the DC. We need
we really do. And awards, a really good DMV awards.
Isaiah, he did it the other night. The only one was missing was the awards. He already did it. When I seen all these musicians from all over the world come together on Friday night, it was amazing. We can't even name. It would take a whole nother hour to name everybody who was on that list.
Dad, people that came to the event said that they felt like they were at the Stellars or at the Doves or at the Grammys. I mean, they were like, it felt like that.
It was
just want to lift up Pick TV again, and David Evans and everybody. Please put that put the QR back up there, please. All you have to do is go to the photo on your phone and scan it. Just do that so that you can see everything going on here. We want to help him. He's already made it, but we just want to help him to sustain. And Pick TV is hot, but you want to stay tuned because Mark Freeman and some others are coming up next.
Woo!
Commercial break.
What up? I'm Aaron Spears. I'm here at Guitar Center. My mom and dad, they were pretty strict on me as far as, growing up. Church was a real big part of my life. So I think the earliest memories that I have, I remember just kind of listening to the choir and the musicians there and air drumming, like on the front row.
My name is Jamal Moore, and I'm at Guitar Center. I can remember I was 9 years old, and my grandmother saw that I could play drums really well. So she took me to a school called Levine School of Music in Washington, D.C. I tested in the school, and I tested out in 2 years. So it was that's like one of my biggest moments I can really remember when I was younger.
Hey, I'm just sitting here on my porch just looking. What am I looking at? I'm looking to the hills from whence cometh my help. For my help? Some of y'all know the rest.
Big TV Network here once again. I'm so happy again to have the greatest night on history in the Big TV Network with my godson's big Showtime birthday recap. We got to bring Jerome Bowie on. He's been waiting patiently to come on.
Yeah, Pastor Bowie.
I want to talk about our sons in ministry. That was my son Stephen. He wrote some songs for Tyler Perry. That was Stephen
Really?
from California.
That was Steve-O.
That was Steve-O. Then Amos. We got to give a shout out to Amos. Then your kids. I never thought the gift would jump on them down there.
I know. Isn't it crazy?
Soon as Pastor Boy get finished, we're going to talk about that. Pastor Boy,
yes.
Jerome, you ready to come in, man, and give your words?
Man, I am just enjoying listening to everyone because this is a special man of God. I always knew that. And so whenever I heard him doing anything, I would try to be there. And he has been nothing but a blessing to me. He's always been the same. He loves people. And I thank him for honoring me and allowing me to be a part of his younger days. To God be the glory. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed. I am blessed.
Bowie, we love you, man.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. And I was honored. I remember, I don't know if you remember years ago, you called me up and said, Pastor Boy, I want to put together a service honoring my father, and I want you to help me. That blessed me that you thought about me to call me for that. So I'll just tell you, God be the glory to you and your wife. I want to say to your wife, her testimony, and a lot of times when you get testimonies, you don't know the effect that it gives to people. But it blessed me and a lot of other people I know. Wow. So at my service, at my church, we brought back testimony service because of your testimony. Wow. So every Sunday at my church, we do testimony service. Higher praise.
To God be the glory. Thank you so much. I'm glad that. Thank you. To God be
I was home and was stricken with the virus. My wife, my son, all at the same time. So I can relate to everything you said. And I was rushed to the hospital. And but God get the glory. God get the glory. Yes, yes. Your story, no one know it, but God gets the glory through it. So Isaiah, man, keep on keeping on. And I love you to life, man. I love you to life.
Pastor Bowie, I want you to quickly tell the people what you used to do. You were like the guru when it came to street promotion, when it came to promoting events, when it came to doing something like you were so successful in that. You worked for Rue Marketing International. You would do stuff for me. I mean, talk about what you used to do. What was your forte?
You know, my forte was this. Even like with Scripps Cathedral, and I just celebrated birthday, like you know, and so many people bombarded Evans to make videos. He said so many people, and Ed Long got it on. He said one thing I said about you, Pastor Bowie. I remember giving you 5,000 or 10,000 flyers, and you called back and said, "Do you have any more?" That was my passion. That was my passion. And even with Isaiah Thomas, the Elements of Praise, I had a street team. We go to the malls and see. Internet wasn't popular then, so if you didn't do flyers, you didn't get no promotions.
Wow.
So so that was
that's good.
Yes. Yes.
I remember we were promoting a record. We went all the way to New York, man, and you was working just as hard in New York as you were in Northwest DC.
Man, I was honored you called me and said, come around me in New York. Sunday Best has just started, and they wanted you to be a background judge. And you called me up and asked me to ride to New York with you. And I was so honored, man. I'll tell you. Man, this you thought about me, man. Yes.
Pastor, you are such a gift to the body. And I don't know if I've ever told you this, but a lot of stuff wouldn't have been successful without your hands in it.
Yes, yes,
so
yes.
I'm going to tell you right now, when I look back over my career, I want to say thank you to you because there's a stuff so you do so much, and half the stuff you don't even get paid for. You don't even, ask for no money. But
yes, you don't. That's right, sir. I bless you, man.
The event would not be successful without you. So for that, I want to say thank you, man. And I know God's got a major blessing for you.
Yes, and when I did the Cheryl Jackson celebration with Winston Cheney, the first person that came to my mind was Isaiah Thomas.
Wow.
And I called you, man. You didn't stutter. Your wife called me. Y'all didn't flinch. Y'all said, let's make this happen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. You hear me? And we made it happen. I tell you, man.
And it was a stellar event, man.
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
Everything that you've ever done has always been top notch.
Yes, sir. Everything. I'm still rolling in that gift. Me and my wife have been feeding the homeless. I don't know if you know, for over 20 years. God has blessed us with tractors, trailers full of food, feeding the DMV for years, and that's my heartbeat. And God has gave me favor with that, and people still call me today. Most churches in the city right now get a bunch of food that we give to them on a regular basis, and God has blessed me with that, man. So God be the glory.
Pastor, I just want to encourage you to continue to do what you do, because what you do, you're blessing the world, man. So
Thank you, sir.
I
Yeah.
want you to just stay encouraged, all right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And y'all got to make that music thing happen with that. What the brother was saying, come in and teach the young musicians. Because I've been around you. I'm not a musician, but I'm gonna be part of that, because I'm not a musician, but I learned so much just in this hour on the phone.
Yeah.
So imagine what the nation can learn.
Yes. We're going to bring you in, and because we want to make this thing big, man.
Yes, we make it happen.
Big for the kingdom. So you will
Yes, sir.
definitely be involved.
Yes, sir. And for your, I know I got to go for your first lady. And what you were saying, I want to also say this. In that event, I have I'm doing movies now. I don't know if you know, my buddy is the top movie producer in Hollywood, Gil Nelson, Talent Entertainment. So we done shot 4 short films, and one of them is First Lady Isaiah. It's called Get Checked. It's a 20-minute short film about men and women getting checked. But I'm gonna tell you the twist of it. I shouldn't tell you the twist of the movie, but I will tell you this: the lady and the husband went into the doctor's office. The lady had cancer, and she beat it. But the doctor called her back a couple of years later, and she thought the cancer came back. But as she was sitting in the office, the doctor said, "I got good news. You don't have cancer no more, but I do have bad news. Your husband has breast cancer."
Wow.
Now check this out: people didn't know that they can get breast cancer.
Wow, that's major.
So even when we get these musicians together, we're gonna show that short film. It's right there, been nominated for 3 awards.
Awesome, man.
It's already done.
That's going to be all. You make sure
Man.
you present that.
I had that. I'm telling you, we got nominated for 3 awards already for this film. Because a lot of men don't know they can get breast cancer.
Wow.
Get checked. That's what we call it. And so God be the glory, man. So we're gonna do some things.
God be the glory, man. We love you, Pastor Boy.
Love you, man. Love y'all to life,
all
man.
that you do, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you.
Thank you so
Yes, sir.
much.
Yes.
Isaiah
Yes.
Thomas birthday recap party on the Pick TV
Yes.
Network with Dr. David Evans, our dad.
Pick TV.
Yes.
Yeah, we just happy. Before we close out this section, folks, we're 58 minutes in. Isaiah, I want to talk about the kids, man. Your kids, how the gift fell in them, and I want to hear Natalie too. Natalie, you struck up a praise. And I was talking to Carla. Carla said there were so many artists in there because we don't have rights to play their stuff. That's why we're not doing a lot of roll-ins. But I wanted to say, Donnell, give me all the kids, how the gift fell on them. And guess who just popped in here, man? Look at this dude, Mark Freeman, man.
That's the right reverend. The right reverend.
We're going to get him back in a second, man. But I want you to talk about your son taking care of you, and Natalie, my goddaughter, want to talk about that, and then the gift. Isaiah, I heard that one of your sons in California is doing some things in the movie industry. Also, one of the sons in California doing some things in the movie industry. If you need a break, we can take a break and come. Oh, there you go, right there. Yeah, there you go, right there, y'all.
Dad, I want to start with this young man right here. He is 18 years old.
Right.
He's he attends Full Sail University.
Wow.
He is studying to be an audio engineer. He's also studying songwriting. He plays the piano. He also plays the drums. But in addition to all of those things, he has been right beside me every step of the way, Dad. In a way that I get emotional every time I talk about Kendall, because he didn't have to be like that toward me. But he was a caretaker for me. He was there at every beck and call to help me. It was a very trying period. I was on crutches. I was in a wheelchair. Can you imagine me in a wheelchair and this guy got to push me everywhere? He was taking me up ramps and everywhere that I needed to go. And I am just so grateful to God that God put Kendall in my life. And now to see what God is doing for him, and now he is going off to college and he's doing great things. He's writing songs. I mean, this guy has songs. He's ready right now, Dad. He's ready.
Wow.
And so I just wanted to start off with him, you know, because technically he's the baby of all the children. And but he was really, really, really influential, man, in my recovery and getting back where I needed to be. I don't think I could have wrote Still Here if it wasn't for Kendall.
Wow. That's a blessing. You know, when I came over the house and I seen him, man, taking care of you and getting you everything you needed, man, it made my heart feel so glad, man. We got to bring him on Pick TV Network on the Kids Talk. He's gonna be a face on the network.
Yes,
on Pick TV Network. We got to let him lead, man. And I love him. And, I mean, to see the gifts that we were talking about this. I remember down there when you was like this, man. I remember when you was like this. Yeah. Back in the 80s, man. He was like 12 years old. He was just like this. And to see the gift spell in your kids, Steven in Hollywood, California, with Post Malone, J-Lo, Kanye West out there doing things with BET.
Look at the things that they're doing now. I mean,
and your son who was just here from California,
Michael DeJoy. Yes, he just did the Fast and Furious movie soundtrack.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And how they're now in their lane, they're in their road. I was telling Amos on yesterday, I said, Donnell is one of the last ones that can bridge the gaps of the generation. I'm 60 years old, man. I'm up there, you know, Bishop Owens, and and Pastor Mangrum. And I want to give a shout out to all those pastors who were there, Pastor Patterson, all the pastors all the pastors who were there those are my friends who was on that stage on Friday night. You know, when I look at all of them that was up there, but we going up the side of the mountain. I looked at that's it.
It was so good to see Bishop Carol Baltimore.
Yeah, 80 years old.
83 years old, Dad. 83.
And looking good, man.
Yes.
When I seen Pastor Mangrum and I seen Pastor Collins, these are my road dogs, man. We all came up together. And then we had Mark Freeman out there, and Victor Johnson. I haven't seen Victor Johnson in over almost 25 years.
I know. And it's funny because I really, I'm going to tell you what I want to do in 2023. If I don't do nothing else, Dad, I want to bring edification to do a reunion, one-night event concert in D.C. Pastor Mark Freeman, Cliff Jones, and Minister Victor L. Johnson.
Man, when you talk about Mark Freeman, I made a vow to the Lord and I won't go back. I seen them sing that in Banneker Field, boss. And this is the dude right here, man.
He is the singer, vocalist, and don't let him get on the piano.
He's
on the organ, Doc.
He's the modern day Moses, man. I tell this dude, man, modern day Moses, Malcolm X, man. People say no. I said, man, you gotta hear Mark Freeman, because dude, he just let it out. Then his home dog was there, man, Cliff Jones, his road dog.
Then let me say, I gotta say this. I can only talk about my experience. And my experience with Pastor Mark Freeman is I have never, and I am not exaggerating, I have never heard no one sing like this man. And don't let him preach. Oh my God, that's another interview. But he was when he started singing, when I first heard him sing, it was magical. Like I thought the dude had magic. That's how amazing his vocals was, and still is to this day. Pastor Mark Freeman, there he is in the flesh.
I don't know. Can y'all hear me?
You can hear you loud and clear, boss.
Let me begin, Natalie, with the words of Jesus. Father, forgive them.
No, sir. Nah, man.
Lord, forgive them. Let me take a point of personal privilege, man, to first of all thank our beloved brother and friend, the Reverend Dr. David Evans, for this magnificent platform, man.
Yes.
Dr. Bowens has said it repeatedly, but I just want to add my exclamation point that we have to, it is incumbent upon us to support this channel.
Yep.
Dr. Evans is doing some magnificent things. This Negro know everybody.
Yes, sir.
Can I say it like that, D?
Yeah, you said it right.
Yeah. Steve Harvey come on here, and I mean, I could just keep calling names.
Yeah.
But he is one of DC's finest.
Yeah.
And he has always carried the banner. Those of us who know DC, he's the madness. I can't get nobody.
Yes, sir.
He's the black hole.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would talk. He's rare essence.
Yeah.
He's Georgia Avenue. Man, somebody help me.
Watch out there. Oh my God, you talking? Yes.
Yeah, I wish I had some help, buddy. Yeah, he's the real HU. Man, Dr. Evans is a gift, certainly to the body of Christ, but he belonged to us.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's ours. And let me continue to say, that collage says it all. When you call the names of Marion Barry, Cadoza High School, MLK, the big chair,
Come on.
Yes.
St. Elizabeth, Ben's Chili Bowl,
Yes.
Florida Avenue Grill,
Yes.
Georgia Avenue.
Yes.
Among that pantheon of names belongs Isaiah Donnell Thomas.
Mm.
Man, I should have heard something right there. Give me a
Yes.
clap right there.
Yes.
Yeah. He has earned his place.
Yes.
Not given, but earned.
No, earned. Yes.
Now, back in the day, BET used to have a program called BET After Dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Dr. Bowens, is it midnight? Because the stories I come to tell, I can't tell in PG. Is that why y'all wouldn't let me on? I've been in the queue for like 3 hours. Am I on here by myself?
No.
There we go.
You're not by yourself.
You see how the enemy works?
You're not by yourself.
You see how they try treat me like Kanye West. It's like, go to commercial. We don't know where this going. Man. When we talk about the likes, see, we used to, and rightfully so, and Dr. Bowens can help me. When we used to talk about Bishop Harvey, what's Bishop Harvey's last name?
Harvey Lewis.
Harvey Lewis and his son, and Tommy Rogers on organ, and Temple, and Bishop Kelsey, and Refreshing Springs. In that pantheon of names, we have to add to the DC ledger Earl Machete and New Monk.
Yes.
Yeah. We fall right under Myrna Summers.
Wow.
I can't hear nobody.
Wow.
Yes.
Buddy, nobody won't help me.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah, when we talk about First Act.
Wow.
Yeah, we have to include in that legendary list of names Faith Tabernacle and Dr. Carla Bowen.
Yes.
Help me, somebody.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Man, somebody bring me some virtual juice.
Don't want to get to sweating in a minute, boy.
Yes.
Here's the thing, Dr. Evans, and I ain't gonna be long.
Take your time.
Every job I had, we didn't call them this back then, but every gig I had, they fired me to hire Donnell. Now wait a minute.
No.
I would pray that they didn't hear him play. What? Because we just gonna bring him in, let him do strings, and he went from strings to MD. Like I got the gig. They was like, Bishop need to see you in the office. What did they see me for? What type of
No, sir. No.
Who need to see me where? Hey,
I gotta say this, Pastor. When you got on the organ, everybody in Washington, and I am not exaggerating, everybody in Washington would get their notepad to see what we had to learn today by watching Pastor Mark Freeman play that organ.
Natalie.
Yes, sir.
You too young to remember this, but used to be a show called Charlie Brown.
Yes.
And when the teacher would come on talking and say, wah, 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 wah. Hey, Dr. Evans, when you get this tap right here, not on the back, when you get the chest tap, like, hey, they need to see you in the... I already knew what it was. I put my shoes on, laced up my sandals. I was like, yeah, that's a wrap.
I want a doctor, but
hey, Doc, you know, back in the day, man, growing up, and I stand on the shoulders of these great leaders behind me. Dr. Martin Luther King. I stand behind on the shoulders of all of these great leaders, man. Barack Obama. All of these great leaders, and you got Malcolm X down the bottom of that too. People talk about that, but that man did some great things.
Yeah.
And I learned in our day back in the 80s, you had the greatest musicians came out of Kojic. Then you had people who, Steve Lawrence, you got to put Isaiah Thomas in there. You had to put Marvin McCoy, Mike McCoy. You had to put Roland Roach. You back in that day. Isaiah.
Isla Patmos.
Oh man, come on, man.
George B. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
But we gotta go to church. You gotta go to Church of God in Christ and take it up to Sherman Howard's church. Who was sitting on that organ?
Ricky Payton.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
And you can't call that litany of names with. See, his mama called him Donnell. See, that's his stage name. I told him the other day. I said these niggas know. I'm sorry. Ooh,
it's late. It's late, Doc. It's late in the evening. So
this the after hours show.
This the after hours.
His stage name is Isaiah.
Yeah.
But his mama called him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. So I always get caught up calling him Donnell. I'll be like, hey Donnell, hey D. So I know we don't supposed to tell these stories. I've only told this story about 3 times. So there was an incident, man, where we had got tripped up, man, and our wires crossed, whatever. So I was gonna be that dude, right? So Earl, they used to rock out. It was Earl and Scooter, Squirrel, they had their clique, and then Edification, Victor Johnson, Cliff Jones, Sam Kendricks. We had our little, thing. So I saw Donnell in Union Station. So I called myself on call him out. I'm doing all this. And the next time, it will tell you another thing. And I'm gonna answer. So he was like, who are you talking to, dog? So I tell him, Dr. Evans, you follow me up these stairs, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give you something you never forget, right? So if anybody on here, you got to be DC to appreciate this.
Yeah.
So you leave in Union Station, you got one set of escalators that take you to one level, parking. Then there's another one.
Yeah.
That take you, let the church say higher. Put that in the comments. Higher. Before the Clark sisters, it take you higher. Wait, hold on. Natalie, where's my juice? My not yet. So, hey, Dr. Evans. So the first flight, I'm gonna tell you. So he just, Donnell, now all of us was about 100 pounds lighter, right? So he bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? He got his little stuff poking out through his t-shirt. Just, got a little six pack. I'm like, I didn't know that. He got guns. I was like, I didn't see that in rehearsal. So when we started going up the second flight, going higher, let the church say higher. We going up the second. So, Dr. Evans, I take my fist and slam it into my hand like this is what I got for you. Donnell take his fist and slam it into his hand and I got something for that. I was like, wait a minute, this is not how I had this in my head. This ain't going according to plan.
Oh my God.
Abort mission.
Man,
but when I tell you, man, I love this brother.
Yeah, man.
Listen, man.
Real love, man.
Hey, that's all I can say because of this NDA that that they had me to sign, this non-disclosure. I can't tell you no more about that.
That's it.
That's enough.
That's it.
But when I tell you, man, this brother used to play for us, man, and he added so much to the ism, man. He put the sauce on it, man. Like we had songs, but Donnell would come, man, and add that, man. That I mean, he would. The devil trying to fight me on my stand.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But Pastor Mark, I want Dr. Barnes to come back because I want her to just expound on. No, seriously, we don't talk about this enough, Carla. Okay. I want to expand on the vocal ability of Mark Freeman.
Oh, come on, man! This is your night.
No. I got to do this. I got to do this, Pastor. I got to do this. Okay. Carla, can you tell me? Can you break down what it was for Mark Freeman to sing on those live recordings and what he did that night?
Yeah. Well, first of all, his vocal is it really is phenomenal. It's like he could be R&B easily be R&B. He knows how to mesmerize women. Ooh, where's my virtual chick?
Oh my God! Wait a minute, Dr. Evans, let's go to commercial.
Are you okay?
We'll be right back after these messages.
There's an undertone in that.
Dr. Evans,
Carla done lost her whole voice.
Listen, dog. Dr. Evans,
I have nothing to do with that.
Wow, Dr. Boyd, are you okay? Are you okay over there?
Right. Everybody went in different directions. But anyway, so his vocal is see, the thing with Mark is and now he's Bishop, actually.
Yes.
What are you doing over there? Can you just keep the camera still, please? Bishop, what are you doing? It's like it's been upside down, it's been to the side. Now he done disappeared all. He done disappeared.
Where did Bishop go? Where did Bishop go?
Get her down there.
Let's stay right, keep it right there.
I said it's oily over here.
Right there, keep it right there.
Slippery when wet. Dr. Evans, are you going to step in? Are we going to commercial?
We're going to have to go to a commercial. We got 119 into the show. It's been amazing, folks. We're going to take a commercial break.
Yeah,
this is the biggest night in history.
Donnell, this done turn into Otis
This is DC on fire, y'all.
Yeah.
This is DC on fire. We're going to take a commercial break and we'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
We're here today at the birthday celebration for Isaiah Thomas. It's been amazing. Pick TV Network here on doing special coverage today. My name is David Evans. Keep checking us out. and we got some more interviews coming up right after this.
Get y'all ready. How y'all like the program tonight?
Oh, we loved it. We loved it.
Right.
We love our brother. Happy birthday, Isaiah. Many more.
Wow, you've been knowing him for a while?
Been knowing of his music, but he's getting ready to produce our new single, Kenneth Marsh in Favorite. He's getting ready to produce our new single, so we're excited about that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep watching the Pick TV network.
Yes.
Pick TV.
Yes.
Thank you. Tonight.
Yo, happy birthday, Isaiah Thomas. 50 years is incredible. It was an amazing night of love and support and memories, and how much you've made an indelible impact here on the DMV. And so thank you for how you've helped all of us grow in some way, shape, or form, and or gave us an opportunity or a platform to use our gifts. We love you, bro. Shout out to Pick TV. Y'all check it out.
Time friend, Pastor Collins and Lady Collins. We've been over 30 years, man. How did you enjoy the program tonight?
Oh, it was wonderful. Coming here to celebrate Isaiah Thomas was a magnificent thing. He deserves all the recognition that he received tonight. He's been a tremendous blessing to many people, and certainly we thank God for his life. And we're praying that he live long and prosper. Live as long as he want, and never want as long as he needs. So we thank God. And certainly we thank God for the Pick TV network. Pastor David Evans. Bless you, sir.
Well, he's really like a son to me.
I could be that. I
want to give a shout out to heaven, man, to your godfather, man. He blessed my life, man.
Yeah.
Pastor Ron was he touched my life. He
My
touched
grandfather was a
lives.
pioneer, man. We love him, man, and we still love him. But let me tell you, I'm excited to be here tonight. Tonight was amazing. Every artist, every tribute was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said in there, I'm grateful that we get to celebrate Isaiah while he's living, and we didn't have to celebrate a funeral today. So I'm telling you, I'm grateful to God. I'm confused trying to tell you that I'm grateful to God for his grace and his mercy that he gave to Isaiah to give us more music and more love every week, every month, every day. I celebrate him every day. But I'm telling you, you need to tune in to Pick TV. Subscribe to Pick TV. I'm telling you, it'll bless your life.
Program tonight. How you enjoyed
Man,
it?
I absolutely enjoyed myself tonight, man. Celebrating 50 years with Isaiah Thomas. Man, the city came out, love came out, man. It was amazing. It was awesome. It's 11 o'clock now, man. I was supposed to be going out of town tomorrow, but I had to be here and had to stay here because it was tremendous. Man, the music, the what they put together, man, God be the glory, man. Isaiah, the best is yet to come. Pick TV Network, thank you for spotlighting this thing tonight, man. It was amazing. It was awesome. Isaiah Thomas, we love you.
Hey, you better say happy birthday to your wife,
Man, you know, tomorrow, in fact, in a couple of minutes, my wife's birthday, I'm going to go home now. And we're going out of town to Leesburg, man, and have a good time. Happy birthday, sweetheart, my wife, Regina Boyd. My wife for life, I'll tell you, man. And Bishop David Evans, the Pick TV Network, just celebrated 2 years, 2 million views. God bless you. To God be the glory. Watch it, subscribe, go to Roku TV, Pick TV Network, doing some big things. Big things.
Evans, how you enjoyed the program tonight?
I loved it. It was so full of life, so many encouragements, someone who deserved it so much.
Yeah, so many people in there. Look at all the artists came together. You know, it was like the Stellar Awards, the Grammys, man. It was so many musicians in there, talented people.
Yeah. I just want to say, Isaiah, love you so much. Thank you for setting an example for all of us, for paving the way. Songs I listened to when I was a kid, growing up on loop. Now we're inspired and creating from that same sound. So thank you so much, and enjoy your birthday.
Hey, what about Pick TV?
And watch Pick TV Network to see the whole thing all over again.
This is my guy.
50 years, y'all.
50 years, man.
Man, you strong, bro.
This is my guy. This is my mentor. My encourager. This was my first class, man. This is my first class. When I went to Calvary, he was the one stopping me, telling me to hold up, go left, go right. Do right.
That's right.
This is my guy. I love him. I love him.
This is my godson.
That's right. That's my godfather right here.
Forever.
Bishop David Evans. Dr. David Evans.
I love him, man.
Love you, man.
man, Steve. Steven
Man,
Amos.
that's my brother, man.
It's the life, man.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
just
sir.
tore the
Yes,
place
sir.
up once again.
I appreciate that, Bob. Thank you so much, man.
And we go back, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm so
Absolutely.
proud of you, man.
I appreciate that.
Now,
Thank
you
you
gotta
so much.
say something to Godmother Yvette.
Oh, yeah, Mom. I love you so much. I thought I would see you tonight. Wherever you are, I know you loving on me because I love you back.
Thank you. Hey, everybody. This has been one of the biggest nights in history on the Big TV network. Before we close this session, I want to do one more thing. I want to bring on Isaiah, and I want to bring on Mark Freeman for 1 second, just to educate our audience on where we are today. I just left a concert after yours, Donnell. Since I'm still saved, I got to be saved since Mark Freeman is in the office. I went to a concert over in Baltimore with Babyface, and it was one of the greatest concerts I ever been to. I didn't know Babyface wrote all those songs.
Yes.
But I want to say to Mark, and I want to say to Donnell, Isaiah, my godson, you guys are from the old and the new school, but I want you to talk about musicians today and not being locked into the Pentecostal apostolic mindset, or you got to only play for my church, you're going to hell, you can't go out there with R&B, you can't play out there with different music, you can't go out there, because there was a lot of us coming along. You had to stay in this box. And if you went outside that box and played, you were going to hell. So first of all, I want to take you into this 2-minute session where I did recording at Babyface.
Sometimes it's wrong, and sometimes it's right. For everything, someone must fail. But there comes a point when we excel.
Yes, sir. Now I wouldn't be going to heaven, and Isaiah, if I was to go to that concert back in the 60s and 70s. But my son took me there. He plays for Post Malone, J-Lo. He's been on a Jimmy Fallon show 3 or 4 times, traveling up around the country, going on places I've never been before. Your son Isaiah, Mark, talk to us today. Why is it so important for us as ministers or PK sons not to be locked into, you only got to play for my church, only got to play this music, or you're going to hell, or you can't go out there? Isaiah, I want you to start with you, then Mark.
Well, I'm going to tell you what my experience has always been. And I was told this, someone put this in my spirit some years ago, doing a workshop. And they told me that there's no such thing as an evil note, a sinful sound. There's no such thing. It's if you play a B flat chord, if you're playing blues, it's a B flat. If you're playing jazz, it's B flat. If you're playing gospel, it's still B flat. What makes the music beneficial or not is connected to the spirit of the person that's presenting the music. That was told to me years ago, and I never forgot that.
You need to go and trademark that.
I'm telling you, because as I started working with artists, Pastor, and you can attest to this, some of the artists I was working with were not gospel artists, but I found that they were more spiritual than some of the gospel artists that I work with. So I could not look at their genre of music to determine whether they're singing was it beneficial to me or not. I had to look at the spirit that they were singing from, and that determined whether the music was beneficial. I'm going to yield the stage to Pastor Mark Freeman, of course. So he can.
Let me again thank Dr. Evans and Natalie for going to commercial break, and I've enjoyed my cigarette, and now I'm back. Thank you, Jesus. Won't he do it?
Won't he will?
We won't.
Listen, man, for those who will watch this, because again, man, and I'm not doing this just because it's our brother and our friend and family member, but this interview, this videography will live in infinitum when we're long gone.
Wow.
And so thank God for a Dr. Evans who had the foresight to capture these moments and these thoughts.
Wow, that's good.
So when you talk about this music of ours, man, that spans generations and genres, we are as our dear forerunner Little Richard said, we are the originators.
Wow.
So when you bring to a celebration of an Isaiah D. Thomas, a David Frazier.
Yeah.
Now the masses don't know him by name.
Yeah.
But when he start hitting off his hits, you be like, hold on, man, what?
Yeah.
You wrote that?
Yep. Yep.
Then you wrote that for Donald Lawrence?
Yep.
Then you wrote this anthem for Donald. Man, wait, hold on, man. This dude got a catalog, man. Let me tell you about Donnell and David Frazier. These are the kind of guys, they were so proficient in their gift, right? So when they talking all this craziness. So at the time it was called Elder Mose, but who became legendary Bishop Kenneth H. Mose.
Yes, yes, yes.
He would go and preach for the Bible Way churches. Huey Rogers.
Yes, sir.
And so I was backing him up because Sigmund couldn't make it for this engagement.
Wow.
Then they would switch off into like a song or whatever. And this is when you had guys standing around the organ, like Stanley Brown, David Frazier, like you don't even know these guys, Carlton, and they standing over you like, you got it, dog? You got it? So I was kind of fumbling around, and he's scooping me off with his booty, scooping me off. He's like, I got it. That's how I met David Frazier.
Wow. Wow.
That's how I met Aaron Hall.
Wow.
That's how I met Jeff Davis.
Yeah.
See, a lot of y'all don't remember. Hey, if you go back, when I say this, go back and Google or YouTube David Letterman's opening montage, his music with Dr. Schaefer. Down, 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 man. And they would be, it was almost like giant steps, right? And they played that thing, man, and you'd be like, yo, what is these cats doing, man? So when you talk about the David Frazier's, the Isaiah Thomases, the Melvin Crispell,
wow, yeah,
who wrote they wrote for Whitney Houston,
yep,
they wrote for Mariah Carey,
yeah,
and we tried to keep them because we like they ours.
Wow.
So there was a pro and con to that thing. The pro was these hours, we birthed them, they was nurtured here, but the con was their gift was so magnanimous and so broad and so far reaching, we couldn't harness it and contain it in Bible Way or Mount Calvary or the Baptist Church or New Samaritan. It had to go to the world.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
So our music is far, and it didn't just begin there. They're following trends that was laid, tracks that was laid before them. And I don't necessarily mean the music, I'm just saying the roadmap.
Right, right.
So when you talk about Aretha, when you talk about Smokey Robinson, when you talk about the Stylistics, the Dells, the Temptations, the Supremes, just keep calling the roll.
Wow, wow.
All that's gospel music. So
gospel.
when Tommy Dorsey was ridiculed and maligned for bringing in this jazz, we didn't understand how far-reaching God had put the anointing in this house.
Wow. And I want to say, Mark, I want to say that same thing, man. My son Steven is right here. Look at this board, man. He's in Jamie Foxx studio. He's in Jamie Foxx studio. Look at that board, man. That board costs more than my house. This board costs more than my house, man. Look at that board.
And you know what? And you know what Jamie Foxx will walk in there and sing? No weapon formed against me. And you be like, hold on, dog. You can sing anything. He's singing Fred.
And the board, like you saying, man, the board is going to do the same thing, like Donnell said. And we can't confine. Back in the day, man, you would go to hell wearing red lipstick. You couldn't drink a Coke soda. You had to wear high heels. You remember, Mark, you had to wear this white to be right, back in that day. But the explosion happened. They tried to keep the Clock Sisters from going crossover. But now, God is bigger than this little box we've been in all these years. And I want to thank God for you, Donnell, going to reach people, man, outside of the gospel arena. And I couldn't talk like this in the 70s. But talking to Gladys Knight, doing her project, Mark Freeman, gift can go anywhere around the world, man. And even when I started Pick TV Network, they told me I had to have 60 channels with 60 preachers on it. I said, no, sir. I had to expand my mind to reach people from all over the world, through comedy, music, movies, podcasts. I have a prison freedom channel, people coming out of prison, telling their story, doing great things that won an award. Talking about short movies. I got my little short movie I'm doing there.
Yeah,
So I want to thank you, Mark, for expanding it. Expanding it down there, because we got to reach the world, man. We can't. COVID should have taught us that the church is bigger than our little four walls.
Right.
So go ahead.
Can I just say, Dr. Evans, it certainly didn't begin with me, and it did not begin with Isaiah. Somebody has to catch the baton. One of the dangers, and this takes us into a whole nother conversation of a sober conversation, that the person that's catching the baton is not standing still. They're already in a full sprint. They reach their hand back to receive that which is being given. So when you talk about Isaiah Thomas and his span, we can't refute and devoid him of Richard Smallwood and Whitney Houston singing Richard's song.
Wow. Wow.
Remember that?
Yep.
We can't devoid that of Tremaine Hawkins singing "Oh Happy Day."
Right.
Then it comes down to Morette Brown Clark. Then it comes down to Dottie. Then it comes down to us.
That's good. That's good, man.
But we're just catching the baton.
Wow.
And they were ridiculed. Look at all of them. Walter and Edwin were ridiculed for "Oh Happy Day." When we look at that now, we're like, "Oh Happy Day" was controversial?
Yep.
Because they was on Soul Train?
Yep.
That was the hit?
Wow.
When today we got we dealing with
Yeah.
And we talking about "Oh Happy Day." We like,
yeah.
Come on, man. They were ostracized, ridiculed. Tommy Dorsey with Precious Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
Willie Mae Ford Smith.
Yeah.
The Caravans.
Yeah.
So let me say this, and then I'm gonna quit because I feel something working on me, Dr. Bowens. If you cannot stand critique and ridicule and ostracization and being estranged, then you may not have what you think you have.
Wow. That's good.
Donnell has been put off ministries.
Wow, that's good.
Dr. Bowens has been let go of positions because of their forward thinking and their broadness of the music and what it means.
That's good.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. That's a whole nother thing, man. When you talk about the deep hurt that these, even on this transmission, have endured.
Yes.
Of rejection of this ain't God.
Wow.
But knowing their conviction and hearing God and following what they felt they were called to. See, if you ain't there, then just sit over here, man, and just shut up, man, while we do what we do. Did I say that?
Now you know Mark Freeman is in the house, you know, because he brings the heat. That's what I love about him, Isaiah.
He telling the truth, man.
I love about Mark Freeman because I seen him stand up when somebody got shot down in his and cry, and he knew all of the preachers down there backed up and backed out. He literally cried. I saw him and I called him about 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, "Doc, what happened?" He said, "Man, I know, y'all know what y'all did. That person shouldn't have died if we would have stood up and I told y'all what to do." I saw this man break down, y'all.
Yeah.
So when I say this dude, he needs a show down there.
Man, you need to give him a show tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow, he needs a show.
He needs a show, man. When I say he's a modern day Malcolm X, Doc,
I refuse to do it without these three right here. Hey, Natalie, get
He
your
gonna bring the heat.
paperwork together and give it to Doc since he's talking.
Exactly. This man gonna bring the heat. He gonna bring the heat, y'all. You can't stand in the kitchen because he controversy, all of that stuff. You know,
we need Pick TV presents the Mark Freeman Show.
I know, man. He gonna bring the heat, but we got to close it out. We got 15 more minutes. Carla, thank you so much for putting everything together. Carla, you did it.
Can I say
Hey, Dr. Evans.
Yes, sir.
You want me to tell me and Carla stories, or
you know what? No, you're not gonna tell no.
I gotta find Carla a husband, man. Carla wants a husband. Carla wants a husband, and I know too many brothers out, man, who need a beautiful woman like her, man.
You mean another husband?
I know you're not saying.
Hold on.
I know you're not saying.
A commercial break.
I know you're not. Why are you talking over top of me?
Where we going now?
You don't want the millions.
Hey, Natalie.
Millions didn't make it. Millions didn't make it, but I was one of the ones
Carla, we went. What did we say last night, Carla? Last night we said we was up to 2 in the morning. We said Jesus worked the night shift. We're the Red Eye Saints. We're the Red Eye Saints because Jesus worked. I want to bring Mark. I got to bring Mark on that list. We got to put Mark on the late shift with us. He got to work the late shift.
Yes.
She's already married.
Carla's already married.
Hello. Can you hear me? You got my mic muted. Can y'all hear me? Am I coming through?
Am I coming?
We got put Mark on the. He on the late shift.
David, the only one missing from Isaiah's event was Jerry Springer.
I'm telling you, but can you imagine edification coming back together? I
want it so bad. I said if Mark would walk up in here, and because Victor Johnson was there, Cliff was there. I was like, if they just
you can't leave out Everett Silvers. You can't leave out Silvers. Everett Silvers. You can't leave.
That's right.
Pastor. That's right. He made some appearances with edification.
Yeah, you can't leave my man out. I mean, they were the hottest group coming up. You had the Winans back in that day.
There were certain ones who made appearances, man, but they, may not have been a part of the nucleus. But I want to go back to what Dr. Bowen said. She said she wanted me to walk up in there. So I was trying to explore that. I'm trying to see.
You know what,
so
Saints? I got to know the working.
you wanted what? What else did you want?
Okay,
You had
so
us
here we
decide.
go. So here we go.
All right, good night. Good night. We love you.
Hey, Natalie.
David, this is what I want to say.
We got to hear from Natalie before we close out tonight. Natalie, we got to bring Natalie to the stage. I'm gonna have to put them in the backstage for a minute because we got to put them on a whole different channel. They got to get the whole different channel by themselves. I didn't know Carla was gonna take it to the next level, and then Mark, they got to be on the comedy channel, y'all. Yes. Natalie, yes, sir. Your husband, yes, sir. My godson, and you guys did a wonderful job putting everything together. When you gave your testimony before we closed, you broke out into praise, and the whole church started just going. Talk about what made you shout when you talked about Isaiah's testimony.
Because God did it. He could have been up there with no leg. He could not have been up there at all. Plenty of times the doctors told me, basically get your insurance together. He wasn't going to make it. Several times the doctors came to me and said Isaiah was not. They didn't know if Isaiah was going to live or die. A lot of people do not know that. Isaiah was very, very sick for several years right after we got married. And so I gave God all the glory and praise because he did just what he said. He brought through a prophecy through Prophet Mosley? Prophet Mosley, and said that Isaiah shall live and will live through his health and be able to see certain things, and the prophecy's just going through. So I give God all glory, honor, and praise. I don't care where I am. I don't care who I'm around. I promised God I would always give him a good dance of thanks and a good praise of thanks because he saved my husband's life. And so we just, an advocate of, musicians, please take care of yourself. Please, visit your doctors, go to your doctors regularly, take your medications when you're supposed to, things of that nature. So that's all, Dr. Evans. I just give God all glory, honor, and praise.
I love you so much. This is my goddaughter, you guys.
Isaiah,
before we close, man, I want you to give a shout out to your dad in heaven, your mom in heaven, man, looking down. You never forgot about them. We played them during that video presentation, man. Talk about pops and moms.
Yeah, well, I know Dad is smiling. I know he's singing in heaven. It all started with him. He told me when I was a little boy that I was going to be writing music for the nation. So I just want to tell him he knows how much I think about him every day, and I can't wait to see him again.
you, man. I want to say thank you to everybody who watched it. Please watch the replays again. We're going to close out with the video presentations again, the promos of Isaiah Thomas' 50th birthday recap celebration. This is history, a big night on Pick TV Network. We got people watching from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all over the world. Mark Freeman came on and the ratings just jumped up like crazy at night. Carla Barnes. Carla gonna give Pick TV Network one more big pitch. Pick TV Network.
That's what I was hoping. I was hoping I could do that. I just want to say, everybody, Pick TV. Let me just say this. First of all, let me tell you that I was not aware of this network. I was aware of it, but I had never participated in it. After meeting David Evans and being a very strong advocate of the fact that we have to support one another. Just think of what we could do if just the African American community came together and supported the Pick TV network. Just think of the places that this network could go. We need this. We need this platform, and we need, just like what you've heard and what you've witnessed. What he has done for Isaiah and for this event is phenomenal, and things can happen like that for you. I called my sister right before the show came on. I told her, I said, I want you to watch it, not just because I'm on it. I said, I want you to watch it because what you're trying to do, Pick TV Network can take you there. And I said, Marilyn, you'll be skipping over, the videos and I don't have time to tell it all, but you'll be skipping over some of the process trying to get to right here now that I have direct contact and relationship with David Evans. So I'm saying many of you have dreams, help make it a reality and help make his a reality. Let's support one another. There is a QR code. I love that I've learned this. There's a QR code at the top of the screen, at the very top of the screen. If you take your phone, for me, it's an iPhone, take your camera, take a picture of it and scan it. Scan it, and everything about the Pick TV network will come up. Ways to support, programming, everything will come up. So you can do that right now. You can hit that QR code, and let's help one another. Let's support one another. And I just got to say this as I close. With everything that's been done, we could not make this happen. Isaiah's life made this happen. Oh, you're showing it, Isaiah? Is that what you're doing? Oh, you're taking your picture. Okay. You can't make people come to your funeral. You can't make people say these things about you. You can't make people get on planes and fly. Somebody came from Finland. Somebody came from Europe. You can't make Paris Hollins got in the car and drove hours. You can't make people do this. Your life, your character, that's what, draws this type of response. So it speaks volumes for Isaiah and Natalie. It speaks volumes for just the legacy that's been laid all these years. And I just wanted to congratulate you one more time. You are my brother. I had 3 sisters, never had a brother, but if I had one, God knows you the definition. I haven't told none of my stories with you yet, but we'll do that another time, I guess, because I got some.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for supporting Pick TV Network. We're going to close out with this presentation. We got more to come. Keep watching Pick TV Network. Our 60 channels are up, popping and rocking right now. Happy birthday, Isaiah.